Monta was founded in 1992.
92, July, yes.
Alongside Sanyo Radio, Capital, and so on. At that time, we were having the NRM, which Honorable Cecil Ogwal used to say, a monolithic dictatorship.
Yes.
And I think in the minds of the people who founded the Monta, they sought to occupy a void of a robust platform to hold the NRM to check.
No, not deliberate. It just fell on us to do that.
I think they found that the country needed a strong platform, and Monta, I think, became one. Over the years, they failed to divest themselves of that role, even after we transited to multi-party dispensation, and they became partisan, in my view. They also became overly negative, deliberately. They also became a witch hunt platform. Those are my words. Those are my words.
Are you really editing them?
Yes, those are my words. If I'm wrong, I think
you underestimate Ofono.
Yeah, over these.
He knows how to
I know
shoot.
him.
Over these 34 years of their existence, Monta has been closed, I think, 4 times.
Yes.
4 times.
Yes.
The last one was 2013.
Yes.
Where I was directly involved.
On the letter, on the project.
Yes, of the Sejusa. I was involved in contributing to the closure, but I also participated directly with the Linus.
Well,
oh, the MD.
The MD
at the time.
The group, at the time, in the negotiation to reopen.
So
remember,
just go back a bit. You participated in the closure.
Yes.
What was your role?
We documented instances that we said Monta hadn't demonstrated goodwill, even where there was engagement. Remember, the previous 2 closures were what led to the exiling of Charles Onyangobo, led to others being removed, columns being struck off, and so on. Columns we demanded previously. These columns should cease. You remember once we arrested Mwenda and we drove him around this town.
Yes.
And he started crying that we are going
yelling.
Yelling, we said we are going to kill him.
But that was not Monitor, that was Capital Gang.
No.
Yes.
No.
You kidnapped him as he was coming to Capital Gang.
No.
You have forgotten.
Andrew Mwenda alive.
Yeah.
It was Andrew Mwenda alive.
Ah.
And
so you did this again for getting him off Capital Gang.
Closures and reopening, we would set conditions, and they would say, we shall make good. They do so 1 month, 2 months, then you see they have relapsed. They have gone back to the default position of negativity. In the one of 2013, we demanded something. Among them, actually, was the removal of, I think, Karinaki. The removal of that's how Karinaki was exiled to Nairobi.
Or Nkutu.
No, Karinaki.
We had demanded the one of Nkutu when we discovered that Nkutu was the treasurer of the former general, the Kizza Besigye election. Election. We didn't know that we were monitoring his computer.
But then he was at a New Vision.
Yes. And we removed him from New Vision. Then so we said, so Monta is now employing our adversary. So anyway, we continue. So eventually Monta, Nkutu, then others and so on. So each time we close and reopen, we negotiate and we agree on conditions. Monta hasn't lived to those conditions.
What are the usual conditions? That you be good, say only good things.
For example, if the story is accurate, if the facts are accurate, be balanced, be fair.
You know they make mistakes. One time they 70 campaign team accused us of unbalanced reporting. And we did stories were done in 1 month. We did them, and majority of the stories were done have been done in favor of Museveni and covering Museveni. Then they felt ashamed and they left us.
No, I thought I had been asked. So in many of them, as
You're
I
on
said,
microphone.
we have demanded change of personnel, change of elements in the editorial narrative and so on. Then you discover and even where they say they have covered Museveni, they select the facts. Quite often, they would pick the tail end or highlight, if Museveni is campaigning, they highlight where he has misspoken. Yes, you would have covered the rally, but have highlighted where he has misspoken, meaning that your intent, you have ill intent. But anyway, the main point is that I think along the way, the government has found that Monta is not honest. In this particular case, I must admit, I have not bothered to find out what is the immediate, but I think it is cumulative. I suspect that the CDF has been...
That's what Andrew Menda claims, that it is cumulative.
Yes, cumulative. The CDF, if you attack someone's parents consistently, when I don't have the power, I will bleed quietly. But when I get power one day and I am a vindictive type, I may spring on you and get you. I suspect that may be what the spark is. That probably, on top of the things the Monta has been doing, maybe the CDF felt that these people have gone beyond. I've written an article actually saying maybe my column.
Your Sunday column.
Yes, I said maybe Monta needs a shock therapy. If you go to hospital and they are suffering from amnesia, maybe they give you a shock therapy to wake you up. I have also said that probably that's in the same vein that Honorable Miriam needed a shock therapy. Whether it is in the law or not, I think shock therapy in medicine works. I hope that, and even when Monta eventually, that's actually what compelled partly the Wafula Gutus, the founders, to sell shares to Aga Khan. We had hoped that when Aga Khan, who is a businessman across the world, would prevail over the Monta, because what the Monta does here, you don't see nation media doing in Kenya, focusing viciously on the government, on the president of Kenya. Here they do it partly, I think, which was right. Mr. Museveni, when he came, he found Ugandans running up and down, and he gave a broad latitude. I think while it is the right of Ugandans to hold their government accountable, I think Museveni's magnanimity in our kind of circumstance need to be well understood, appreciated, and also rewarded, because Museveni, the person, is a person who's very flexible, he bends backwards. But the Monta group, it became worse when a chain of Monta leaders and their former employees, you see, were here in 2000, I think one, well, I don't know which, 2002, you're celebrating 10 years, I think. You remember we're at that former place, what's that hotel called? It's no longer a hotel now. You go for Karim Heritage, you go towards Chikubo there. Equatorial. We're celebrating 10 years of Monitor. WAF here was kind enough, he invited me.
Yeah.
We sat up to 2 a.m. WAF tried to recruit me away from NRM in that night. We were seated with the Honorable Zindana, the three of us. And you can see when WAF left Monitor and joined Parliament, he became the most vicious, obstinate. Actually, in our circle, we think that why Monitor is unbending is because of WAF here. He trained the people there, and they have remained with his mental status. While he's physically away from Monitor, his FDC, his opposition stand is what drives Monitor. So I think many people in the government see in Monitor were full of goodwill. You are not even willing to see the small good things NRM is doing because of WAF. We think that WAF is controlling Monitor from remote. And so when we come, I can tell you WAF, we generally come with that in mind. We may be wrong that we see Monitor in your image, but that's what's taking place. It is not the best way to do it. We should go. We should go through the route of the law.
Yeah.
In my view, the government should not be afraid to take the route of the law. We should go to court. If we want, ask court to liquidate Monitor or to freeze certain elements of Monitor. But when we continue, now in this particular one, you see the regulators of the media are also saying they are going to find out the circumstance. And I laughed at Nyombi Tembo. You're the UCC. The mast belongs to you, the controller of the mast, the broadcasting mast. And you're saying you are going to investigate the... Then the minister is saying... so you see, previously it would be done by government directly.
Yes.
The offices that control the media, they're the ones who would. Now, when we have a situation where it is the army, because the government should send the army or police to do so.
No, the government should not send the army. Should send the police.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. And even where we send the army, we should be, as a government, we should be able to justify. So that the Ministry of Information, the Executive Director of UCC, does not have to plead. He looked shabby. Nyombi Tembo looked shabby, in my opinion, that he said he's also going to investigate the circumstance.
It was taken unawares.
Yes.
I'm going to come back to you. Don't conclude yet, because I have a young lawyer here, Godwin Toko. He's
we
been
shall
here.
take him to the basement.
No.
Godwin Toko, you're most welcome to Gang.
Thank you, Oscar.
Once again.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yes. Have you worked with NMG? I know that
No,
Agatha has.
I used to write articles and book reviews for the Daily Monitor from around 2022. Independently. I would submit them every week, and the book reviews was my idea of saying, let's promote Ugandan books. Who has a new book? We read it and make a review. And there are many authors who thanked me, said that you're doing a good job, because it was an unpaid thing, just a passion that I was doing. So that's the closest. And then after some time, I started writing articles, my views and opinions. Then the basement things came around, and I said, you know what? Let me leave these things before. So I stopped writing them.
Well, I guess you've done worse than those articles with the basement, with the Agora investigation. So
yes, they need the medal.
in some ways, you would think so.
Yeah.
But you take it up at a higher intellectual level, because
The NMG closure.
You have the us oldies on this side, and now we have a Gen Z amongst us, even with an unruly beard. But if you live in a country, if you have a country that has a poor opposition, it means that some sections of the media will cover that space.
True.
And if Monitor has been covering it, it is not a relentless negative the way Opono describes it. Yes. What do you think?
Yes, I could start with the way Opono ended with saying that NMG in Kenya does not cover Ruto the way NMG Uganda does. Incidentally, just days before NMG Uganda was closed, Ruto had a spat out with a Standard Nation Group, Standard in Kenya.
Standard does
because they've been reporting on Ruto in a way that if you reported about Museveni in Uganda, I think they would take the whole group to the basement, because they had like Ruto's diary of lies, where they reported Ruto's lies repeated like for a whole week. Now Ruto was so mad. How do I know he was mad? Because he tweeted about it. He didn't send their troops. He didn't send their policemen. He tweeted and said, "You guys, he quoted Gideon Moi, because Gideon Moi, the son of former president of Kenya, is the owner of Standard Media. So he said, you guys, you can do the worst that you're going to do. I don't care. Everyone knows you're negative and all that. And it stopped at that. Now, even them, they responded and said, okay, now let's do it 8 times. Say 8 times a week. Let's do it 8 times a week. Now, I think that is the better way to go about these things. The problem with the closure of NMG in the circumstance, you could even just look at the reporting. I've read an article from the Economist today morning. They'll be like, I don't know, every media has this sort of like a cartel. The media,
The world media.
Yes,
Yeah,
like if you see how they
You touch us, yes.
they don't report so much about the killings in Gaza as they report about the journalists.
Yeah.
You get it? So it's like when you go against the media, they can give your country very, very bad publicity globally. Now, for a country like Uganda that is struggling to get investors, desperate to get tourists with Ebola stories and all that, you don't want to add this. This is like insult to the injury. So I feel like, and there's a better way to do it. That is the way we've always done it. Yeah.
Watch this series and many more at your convenience. Available on Afro Mobile. Download and stream today.